So getting into the book review process, step one, you got to choose the book. How do you pick a book? There are a lot of books out there, more books than you can possibly read in the amount of time you have. So how do you go about selecting one? One, maybe the editor just reaches out to you and says, hey, would you like to review this book? In which case you might ask for a copy to decide if you want to. That's its own process. But if this is your idea, if you see a list of potential books or you're just out there in the wild, number one, pick a topic you're familiar with. Every academic book, every piece of scholarship, you should learn something new. Otherwise, what's the point? Make sure you're not learning something new with every single page. If you're learning something new with every single page of the book, that might be a sign that you're not quite ready to review this book because you are so busy, you are so mentally engaged with just trying to keep up that you can't detach yourself and provide that 1,000-foot overview so that you can look down and see how this work fits in with the larger academic context and where the advances and how well the author made those arguments clear. Because you're too busy being down there in the weeds just trying to figure out what's going on. If you encounter a unfamiliar jargon word in the first page, that might be a sign. If you're learning something new, if you're having to read other articles, if you're having to follow the references just to understand, you want a book that you're familiar with so that you can provide that high level overview so you see where it fits. You want to read the journals. Right? Read the journal articles, read the reviews that are appearing in those journals. Look at their tone, look at their content, look what kind of books are generally appearing in those book review sections. You want to find something that matches it. You want to find something that matches what you think that journal will be interested in because you don't want to waste anybody's time. You want to talk to colleagues. You get some inspiration. Someone down the hall might have written a book, might have known their best friend who lives in another city in another department, wrote a book and is just itching for a review. They may have been asked to write a review, but they don't have the time right now. And so they want to pass it off to you. Your advisor might be getting asked and is going to ask you for a book review. Talk to people. When you go to conference, talk to people, say, yeah, I'm interested in writing book reviews. Maybe it's my first time, not exactly sure where to start. Do you have any recommendation for new books that are out there that I could write a review on? Go ahead, grab a few copies from your library or buy a few copies. Chances are you're going to be reading these books anyway as a part of your normal academic life. So once you buy 2 or 3 that you might be interested in, grab them from your library or ask your library to get them, skim them, look at them and decide, oh, this is something I'm not interested in at all. This is something I just want to read for my own work and edification. But this book over here, this is something where I feel strongly about and I do want to write a review and I feel very well placed and well qualified to write that review. Make sure that there are no existing reviews out there. If you've got a great idea for a book review, search it in your journals, look in their book review sections, look online, make sure no one has beaten you to the punch. Because then you're just wasting everybody's time. Then just read the book. Make sure that book is relevant in both time and space. In time and topic. Astrophysics background. Going to say time and space. In time and topic. If the book, and this depends on the field, If the book is too old, no one's interested in a book review. A journal is not going to accept a review of that because it's simply not relevant. But the timescale for relevancy depends on with every different discipline, every different field. Some fields move very quickly where new stuff comes out every month. They're probably not going to be writing a lot of books in the first place. Some disciplines are very, very fast, but books do play a major role. But within a year, the field will have moved on. We'll have incorporated the thoughts and ideas from that book and moved on. So within a year or two, there's no point because that book has already been digested by the community and incorporated into further scholarship. Some fields move very, very slowly only by books, only through books. And so it might take 5 to 10 years for a book to be really felt and ingested and incorporated into the body of knowledge of a field. So it depends on your particular field. Look at yourself. Look at how often you are reading books in your field. Look at how often books are being published in your field, and that will give you a good sense. And also make sure it's relevant in topic, especially for the journal, especially for the audience that you might have in mind. Make sure that this book review will be appreciated by the readers of the journal. Make that connection for them. If you're reviewing a book and it's well placed in the field, then it will be obvious. Like, yes, this book is useful. It makes this advance. We need to get it out there. You need to read it for these reasons. That's pretty easy. Maybe the book, though, is a little bit outside your field. Maybe this is something you're interested in exploring or connecting to your own field, or is a radical new approach that no one's really sure about. Put that into the review. Make it relevant. Make the topic relevant. And if you can't make the topic relevant, everyone in our field should read this book in this adjacent field because it provides so many interesting clues about what we're trying to study. If you can't make that statement, then just read the book on your own for fun and not do a review on it, because that review will not be useful to the community. And once again, I'm going to make a caution about strong opinions. Strong opinions can come in to start you, to motivate you, but they better not appear as strong opinions in the final book review. You better have evidence. And don't turn it into a hit job where you come in, you don't like the author, you hate the topic of the book, you hate something about it, you're very, very strong, and then you end up pulling the worst parts and not providing any kind of balance, any kind of critical assessment. People will see through that. They will see that you're just trying to trash a book and you don't really have strong motivation. They'll see that. And same thing for an overly glowing or positive review. Like if you just want to write a review to flatter the author, just write an email and flatter the author. We don't need a book review to get that job done. You might choose an edited book versus a single author book. The process is not going to be very different, but just keep in mind that if it is an edited book and there are multiple topics presented, make sure that those topics are aligned with your field and that is something you understand.